Hello, this is Rabah Fatma, and today I have a special and extraordinary guest, Love Micaela Love, and who's making a profound impact in the world of the non-profit work and the mental health advocacy. Michaela serves as the executive director of Lovely Hearts nonprofit, an organization committed to spreading kindness, support, and resources to those who need it most. And she worked with Lovely Hertz. Michaela is also a contributing writer for the Mighty in their mental health section. Her articles not only shed light on important mental health topics but also for support and inspiration for readers navigating their own challenges. Michaela's dedication, both her non-profit work and her advocacy in mental health, speaks volumes about her passion for helping others. So really, I'm excited to dive into her journey, learn about the work being done at Lovely Hearts and her insight on mental health. Let's welcome Love Michaela. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
So, Michaela, I would like to request you that you will give your introduction to my viewers.
Yes, definitely. My name is Michaela. Everyone has nicknamed me Love, which is a name that I usually go by. I have my master degree in social work, and about 12 or 13 years ago, I started helping the homeless, which was where my passion started when it comes to giving back to others. So it's something that has developed into a bigger movement, and I'm just so grateful to be able to continue supporting others and helping myself along the way as well.
So, Michaela, should I call to you Michaela or the Love? The both name are very nice.
Whatever you prefer is fine with me.
So, I think I should call you a Love. Love your
Okay.
nickname, right?
Yep. Perfect.
First of all, I would like to say thanks for your time. You really give me a precious time. I know you have busy routine and schedule, but thank you very much.
And thank you as well, because your time is just as valuable. So I really appreciate your time as well.
I want to know about the Lovely Hearts nonprofit organization. So, could you share how Lovely Hearts nonprofit was founded and its mission and vision?
Yes, it's pretty cool because it has been a developmental project. Actually, around 10 years ago, I opened up an organization called Every Action Echoes. Unfortunately, it didn't really stick together that long. There was a few issues when it came to like the business development portion of it. And I was brand new in the business world. So this was actually my second round on starting a nonprofit, and it was successful right away. We opened it around July last year in 2023. And we did raise about $18,000 last year for the communities, which are communities local and international. So the one mission that we have with Lovely Hearts Nonprofit is we like to empower others through education, purposeful travel, and community service. So I think that one thing that people often are a little bit confused about how to helping is, what if I don't have the money to be able to give to a good cause or something like that? And it's kind of interesting because I did lose my house about 8 years ago. It was called the Lilac Fire. It was a natural disaster, and it actually kind of changed my perspective on things, because when I lost my house, there was so many community members locally that were helping me and my family. And one thing that I noticed is that we have such an abundance of resources in America, and oftentimes even international as well. And we don't even realize it. We might think that it's not a big deal. So it was kind of surprising to me, because after my house burned down, I was given like $100 pairs of jeans, $200 sunglasses. And the thing is, that doesn't matter at all. All that I cared about was being able to have like warm blankets, being able to have jackets for my children, things like that. But I realized, wow, we actually have so much and we don't realize it. So it's mainly about plugging people in the community in to be able to do the good work and the strength that they already have and just supporting that strength.
You look, mashallah, what can I say for you, that you're highly motivated and you face the different situations and challenges and overcome the challenges. That's really highly appreciated, Michaela.
Oh, thank you so much.
I
I
want to know that
appreciate that.
what inspires you. Are doing great, and I want to know more about that. What inspires you to keep moving forward with your mission?
I actually talked with somebody about this yesterday. Sometimes I put a thought, an idea, or a perspective out, whether on Facebook, social media, or even sometimes the mighty. And my purpose isn't to create any type of hate or separation. That's not the reason that I do that. It's because I want people to understand that we are all the human race. And with that said, I do get a lot of messages from people sometimes saying, wow, I actually feel heard. Yesterday, somebody said, I really like applaud the courage that you have to continue these topics when people are shut down to new information. And it just reminded me that I do this because I'm able to. I've built up my own mental health support. I have a really good support system. And I want to speak for people that might not feel brave enough to say something or might not feel brave enough to share their perspective. I'm definitely one to help the underdog or minorities. And I just see that we all are capable of so much.
All right, I want to know more about that. As a woman, you are, working as a family, giving time to the family, and working as a professional. So, what challenges you face on the daily basis as an executive director or a professional? So, what challenges you face and how you overcome the challenges?
That's a great question. So, one challenge that I have is sometimes people will take one look at me and assume, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. And I'm sure, or I'm not sure, has that ever happened to you as a female before? Sometimes. Yeah.
Hmm.
And yeah. And so it's kind of interesting because this happened with me a few months ago at a board meeting. I was sharing my opinion and I was kind of stating a few facts. And it was kind of interesting. It was a meeting of about 30 people. And every time I spoke up at all, they would say, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. And then they would continue the discussion. And it happened for about 3 hours. For 3 hours. And then they introduced me and they said my background. And they said the fact that I was in this particular situation, like some of the issues were about social work in schools. And I said, hey, by the way, I was actually the first social work intern. So I'm not just saying this from a place of thinking that I know better. It's because I actually studied. I did the research. I'm educating myself daily. I'm talking with people from different schools. It's not just to have like a say per se, but I do realize that I am shut down very often. And so, what I would say about those conversations is do not stop the conversation. I think sometimes we have to kind of dig a little bit deeper and understand that the person has been raised generationally to think that women are not capable of being leaders, that they're not capable of being like a school director like you, or being in any type of leadership position. And so sometimes we actually have to dig down to why that is and help them realize it's not them being a bad person by not believing it. It's just somebody realizing, wow, I actually think this because this is how I was raised. I was raised to believe that women aren't incapable, when the truth is we're very much capable. If we look at all of the history of women, there's Amelia Earhart with the airplane, there's Queen Elizabeth. There is so many people that have been incredible leaders. Even with Cambodia, one of the reasons why Cambodia became a country was because of a female. So it's kind of interesting. If we actually look back on all of this, we can kind of realize, wow, we were fooled. We might not have thought that women are capable, but they very much are. And on top of that, we are all raised by our mothers. So that alone shows that we're capable.
I think we should do more work on women empowerment. So, what do you think about it?
Oh, absolutely. And that is very, very important that you say that. I am one of the co authors of a book called Women of Purpose. So there will be 3 books coming out. They come out on November 24th and they are international. So you should be able to get one if you did want to. It's very, very interesting. There's 33 authors and we are going on a book tour pretty soon. And it's very incredible because these are just stories about the courage of different women and the situations that we've faced and that we've overcame and how resilient everybody's been. So yeah, I definitely feel extremely excited about the book and about women empowerment in general.
I just want to give you, recommendation or the suggestions. We want to see you in TEDx video. So when you are going to make your TEDx video, your history and story is very inspiration for all of us.
Oh, thank you so much. I did write to TEDx like about 10 years ago, and they approved me. And then I ended up traveling out of the country. So I wasn't able to do my TEDx. But that's definitely on my list of things to do. And I really appreciate you saying that. So when I do it, I'm contacting you first to let you know.
I'm sending my hearts from the Pakistan for you.
Yay!
So best of luck for your upcoming future or like a TEDx video. So really your story is very inspiration, give inspiration to all of us, for the learners and for especially for the women empowerment. So when you are going to make the TEDx, so definitely share with me. I will share with all of the circle in my circle
Thank you
if
so
you allow to
much.
me.
Of course. I appreciate your support.
Uh, Okay, Michaela, if I talk about the mental health, so
Mhm.
in your view or opinion, how important is to work on mental health in today's world?
I believe mental health is something that we need to address and talk about every day. And that might be supporting our own mental health. Some people need to talk, some people need to exercise. Um, the other day, I was a little bit stressed out and I ended up painting my fingernails. So, it's interesting because sometimes we get so focused on the words mental health, but it actually incorporates so much things. It could be yoga, it could be listening to music, it might be stretching. And so I think that what we need to understand is that mental health can look like anything to anyone. And it's up to us to decide what is the best thing for our own individual lives. So, and ironically that you say this is actually something that I'm working with Mission Vista High School right now. I'm helping them start a mental health program. So it's something that I'm extremely passionate about, and I want my children to be able to have that support, and any students.
Oh, really great. Sir Michaela, I would like to play the rapid fire questions with you for
Yeah,
fun. So, am I allowed?
yes, of course.
Okay, so you have to give the answer random without thinking in one
Okay.
word. So the first question is, so the first question is just tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Oh, okay. One thing you can't live without.
Ooh. I would say education.
Hmm, great. That's great. And what's the first thing you do in the morning?
I read.
Okay, if you could have a dinner with any historical figure, so who would it be?
Oh my goodness. Oh man. That was a tricky one. Okay, let me think. Uh,
Okay,
I'll skip that one for a minute. I'll try to think.
what's your favorite season? All right. So, what's your favorite
My favorite
season?
what?
Favorite season?
Oh, I love summer. I love the heat. I love humidity.
Oh, but Mikala, I love winter. So, what should I do? You love, summer. I love winter. So, what should I do? Can you give me a suggestion?
Hmm. You might have to travel to the snow.
Hmm, that's great. That's great. So, the next question: books or movies?
Books, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Okay. One word to describe Mikala loves your
Passionate.
personality in one word.
Passionate.
Oh, that's great. And your favorite cuisine?
Ooh, I'm gonna say Cambodian food, but I honestly just like any type of cultural food. I like all
So
food,
you
to be
cook yourself?
honest. I do cook, yeah. I'm pretty good at cooking
Mm,
Mexican food, ironically.
that's great. That's great. And what's hobby you'd like to pick up?
I really would like to uh do art. And you know what I just did about a month ago is I bought a mannequin and I have been starting to create my own outfits. So I'm hoping to excel in that a little bit more, but it's still the very beginning of that.
So when you was in you were in class one or grade two. So what was your favorite subject?
Hmm, that's a good question. I'm not sure, but I would say that ironically, I really used to hate history. And it was kind of interesting. I had a really amazing professor in middle school, secondary school, and it was kind of interesting because my teacher knew I was going through something rough at home. He just knew that something was going on. And he had asked me over and over again, hey, please stay after class, please stay after class. And I was avoiding him at all cost. I would run out of the classroom first, and I just did not want anything to do with this teacher. And so one day, he actually, and this would be completely not allowed these days, but what he did was he shut me in the classroom with him. And but the thing is, he actually had a very, very good message for me. He said, look, you are failing history, and I know that you are not a dummy. You are a smart human being. And so we are going to do everything that we can to make it where you pass this class because I know that you know the knowledge. And so what he did was, what our assignment was we had to read out of this big, huge literature book. And then or history book as well. And we had to write pages and pages and pages of what we read. And to me, it just didn't make sense. I was bored. And so what he did was he gave me a set of markers and he said, from now on, you draw. I don't care what you draw, but show me that you understood what you read. And if you need to write notes in different colors, do it. And if you need to draw pictures, do it. I don't care. but I want to know that you understood what you read. And it just clicked in my head immediately. And still to this day, I still use different colors if I'm writing because it just helps me organize my facts. And so it was kind of really amazing that this teacher, this was like about 20 years ago or probably even more, he knew that I actually had it in me. And instead of him just saying, "Hey, you're dumb" or whatever, he did everything he could to bring out my own strength. So I'm just very, very thankful for that. His name was actually Mr. Myers. I still remember his name. And I think that his time for that 5 minute period where he cornered me, I think that that really changed the trajectory of my education because I stopped thinking, oh, I'm not smart enough for this. And I started thinking, well, maybe if I try something different, I'm actually very intelligent on this. And it really just changed my school experience.
That's great. Michaela, in the last, I just want to ask that any message or any suggestion you would like to give the students or the learners or the youth. So, what would be?
Yes, I would say that don't focus on your age. Every single human being is capable of making a change. And one thing that a mentor of mine once told me is if you reach out to three people that inspire you and that you look up to every day, you can change the world. And whether that might be asking them for advice, asking them if you can work with them, asking them if they have a book that they might suggest for you to read to learn more information, it's pretty cool because I've done this and a lot of people will respond and they will give. Sometimes I've gotten just huge long emails from people saying, wow, I really admire that you reached out and this is what I did to get started. And so I would say always be open to learning more. Don't be discouraged. There's going to be a lot of haters, and that's okay because people, like we already talked about, they're threatened by education. People are threatened by women in leadership. And that doesn't mean that we stop. That means that we continue and we just know that this is always going to happen. And, if I actually listened to all the people that said that I couldn't do it, there's no way that I could have co-founded Lovely Hearts NGO, the school that I opened in Cambodia, if I actually listened to everyone that said, no, you can't. So I had to say, well, I still can. I can still do it. So I think that we just really have to have the passion and the willpower to continue no matter what. And we're going to have disappointing days, and that's fine. We just take the space and we recover, and then we get back at it. And we can achieve anything. And that might be elementary school students, that might be high school students, that might be somebody that's 70 years old, but now they're thinking about learning a second language. No matter what, there's power in education and there's power in communicating with others.
Thank you very much, Michaela Love. And really, I got inspired after this session, this interview. Really, you are a very highly motivated personality, a strong lady. We should learn something from you. And thank you so much for your precious time. I know that you have to go to pick your son. You have busy schedule and interview. So now I just want to say the goodbye and thank you very much. We will meet again in the next session. Thank you very much, Miguel Love, and especially the name you tag with your title Love. It's really unique. I will add something like this with my name or title definitely.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Well, thank you so much. And I really appreciate your time. And like I mentioned, I'm sorry that we didn't get to connect yesterday, but I'm just really thankful that you created the time for us to do this interview.
So bye bye from Pakistan from my side. Bye bye.
Bye from California. Have
Bye
a great
from
night.
Pakistan. Can we make heart like this?
Yes.
Hmm.
Perfect.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you.